In Genesis 2:15, God said, I'm going to create humanity, and I'm going to give humanity a home and a purpose. We're caring for a community who are maybe as far as they can be from that home and that purpose. But the very value that our organization is named after, Micah 6:8, I see as a proposition of realizing that that prophetic voice is a statement as to God's desire for all of us to have a home and a purpose once more. When I started 17 years ago, the general sentiment in this community was that people who lived literally on the street were people who could not be helped. There was an acceptance that if a shelter wouldn't accept them, if they were in that predicament, that there was not help for them. And many times there was a belief that they didn't want help.
You were 18.
I know. When I first met her, I'm 37.
Our mission is to cultivate a continuum of compassion among unhoused neighbors. It's an acknowledgement that people become homeless when they run out of relationships. There is not anybody that walks through these doors that has anything different going on with them than people who are in our own communities. And the only difference is how families and relationships have broken down in their lives. And so our mission becomes how we create and be the family and the community that's desperately lacking for them in their lives so that they can find their way back to be part of community again. We had tried to help people get a house and get a job, and we would move people into housing, and many of them would die very shortly after. They would struggle in new ways, and a lot of times it was because of a deep, horrible loneliness. Many places, when they build supportive housing, they build it in an apartment building or some other conglomeration where everybody is on top of each other. So it is very difficult for people who have lived for a long time on the street, who have experienced sometimes unimaginable trauma, to move off the street and live beside, below, across the hall from other people who have other versions of trauma. We found that if we could create a place where we could take the asset of community that exists on the street and move it indoors, give people a key, create an environment that works for people, and put the supports and the relationships and the things that people need in their lives, then we could actually give them the best chance possible to have a flourishing life. They need each other in a way that those of us who have never been homeless will never understand. I look at the pictures on the wall and the people whose lives we've had the ability to participate in, and I know that the suffering of people who are unhoused in our community in the next 20 years is maybe going to be a little bit less because of who we are today. We are continuing to alleviate suffering in a way that brings a lot of people together, allowing people to see our unhoused neighbors differently. And for our neighbors, it's allowing them to live into all that they were created to be.